You're looking at the upcoming August BTO and you're not too sure which site to apply for? Well, don't worry, this video has got you covered, so don't worry about that. What's up? I'm Elliot. Welcome. The August BTO is bringing us quite a number of units, 6,300 units, 6 sites in 4 districts, which is probably the biggest BTO we've seen this year. So I think we're gonna go through each of the sites. One of these sites is probably one of the worst sites I've seen in a long time, so stick to the end if you want to see which one is that, because I will be ranking all the BTOs from my most favorite to my least. So let's hop right in. Let us start off with the site at Choa Chu Kang. It's been quite a while since we've seen this site. The last time round was the site at Kiat Hong. Let's see what we got. For this site, we have 1,870 units with a mix of 2, 3, 4, 5 and 3rd generation housing. Located along Woodlands Road, this development actually seems closer to Bukit Panjang than Choa Chu Kang area. So if you like the Bukit Panjang area, well, that's good news for you. As we can see, the parcel is right here, about 5 to 10 minutes from Bukit Panjang MRT. For schools nearby, we've got JPJC, 2 primary schools, 2 secondary schools. So if you have kids that really hate traveling to school or are always late, always late to come to school, well, I think they are gonna enjoy this site, and so are you. Recreation, you're near a park connector and rail corridor right here. Well, it's not really very impressive right now. I'm quite sure that HDB will look to intend to spruce up this area, especially with more BTOs coming up. Now for the remaining amenity, I think we'll look at the master plan. It's going to give us a bit more of a visual of what's going on compared to actually this map we have. Our site is over here. No real plot ratio released, but I'm assuming it's going to be about 3 based on the surrounding land plots. Now, plot ratio of 3 allows developers to build up to about 36 stories, and with the number of units we have for this particular BTO, I'm not really surprised. I think that is a number that definitely is going to be hit. We've got some small clinic clusters down here, 2 large shopping malls over here, Junction 10 and your Hillian Mall, and 1 more planning to arrive really soon over here. So that's kind of good news. Now for the location of this HDB, I think it's not too bad. It's really near the MRT, and also the fact that Choa Chu Kang or Bukit Panjang area hasn't really seen a lot of BTOs in a while. So that would mean that if you're looking for an exit strategy, if you're going to be selling your property after 5 years after the MOP, it's going to be really good because of the tight supply in the market. So overall, I think this development, not too bad, not too bad. Okay, it was really nice to see Choa Chu Kang again. It's been a while since we've done that. But let's go back to our usual and our old favorite of the Kallang Whampoa area. In fact, for the Kallang Whampoa area, we have 3 sites. So let's take a look at our first one over here. 1,040 units for 3, 4 bedrooms in the Whampoa area. Seems like the entire Whampoa area over the past BTOs is planning to be a new kind of new town with a lot of different projects as well as BTO being planned over here. Looking at the map, I think the obvious point, we're kind of sandwiched between 2 highways, the CTE as well as the PIE. The CT1 is slightly elevated, so there might be some noise concerns on this side of the road. From the PIE, which is the north side, the river buffer should create a fair enough distance to the BTO. I think it's about 100 meters, which is really quite significant. We can't write off this site as bad for now. Really need to consider where the stack layouts are going to be once the site is actually released. HDB will probably try to space it out and pull it back away from highways. So besides that, let's look at the master plan layout to get a little bit of a better look. Our parcel is right over here. No comments on building height since, again, plot ratio is not released. I'm not too sure why. Mainly surrounded by residential, upcoming schools over here. Not too sure what kind that will be. They're not really telling us that. And a monastery across the highway. Not something you use very frequently. Porosity in this direction is really low, with the highway acting sort of a barrier, limiting accessibility to the north as well as to the east. You do get a tiny bridge access somewhere over here and, well, also over here. No nearby MRT. I think this is really gonna be a big factor. Unless you have a car, no issue. And not much amenity in the area as well. Gotta say, this is probably one of the worst BTO spots I've seen. Not much of an exit strategy. The only thing is really that the location itself is pretty central. Besides that, I think there are better options in Kallang Whampoa because of how much BTO stock is coming up in the area. I think a lot of people will look at those options instead of this. Exit strategy wise, not too great. If you're looking to stay in this place for long term, then you can consider this place. Hopefully our next Kallang Whampoa site does a little bit better. Our second Kallang Whampoa site is slightly smaller, 730 units comprising 2 and 4 bedrooms. The site is again in Whampoa, but a slightly better location than the previous site. Right beside your BTO, there is a kidney foundation. Not sure when you'll you'll be using that, but if you do, it's right there for you. Two canals nearby, down here and here, but the Sungai Whampoa is not the prettiest canal river I've seen. Again, they might be sprucing it up with all the BTOs that are coming up in the area. Up north to the side, you have Toa Payoh MRT, which is about a 15-minute walk if you cross a bridge somewhere along here at the Kallang River. Something really cool though, you have a very popular Wheeler's Yacht Cafe. It's just south of this plot, so if you really like cafes, this is kind of perfect for you. And that cafe is really, really nice, you know. Looking at the master plan, we finally have a plot with a plot ratio. Plot is over here with 4.1. Really, really tall stacks. Most buildings here are gonna be about 25 stories. So anything above that for your site, you'll have amazing unblocked view of, you know, the whole neighborhood. You've got some light industry and cafes down here, a proposed park to the right, Toa Payoh Stadium up here, past the highway. It's more than 150 meters away, and again, we haven't seen how the stacks are being laid out. It's probably going to create and increase the distance. We should be good. We should be good. The commercial belt of Balestier is down here as well, with a ton of food and shopping. 10 minutes walk away. There's also a food center also down here, which is 10 minutes walk. I think that's really a big consideration when you're looking at a BTO. You really want to see whether there's like some kind of food court, food center. That's something you're going to be eating very, very frequently, and something that a lot of people overlook. A lot better compared to the previous site, but not much real strong plus points for this particular site. You don't really have very high accessibility, and the property stock is also really high in this area, so I'm not really optimistic about this site. I think the exit strategy is a lot better than the previous one, so you know, that's my feeling so far. Our last Kallang Whampoa site is actually in Kallang, so let's see how that fares. Really, really big site here with 1,140 units with 2, 3, and 4 bedrooms. On the map, we're near a previous BTO site, somewhere up here above Kallang MRT station. So this area seems to be developing into a small little BTO neighborhood. Possibly that means you'll be seeing more amenities being developed in the area. The site is 5 minutes from Kallang MRT, and the new bus terminal will be over here. To the east, really good access to food at Geylang area, past the major road over here. And to the west, the awesome and soon to be regenerated Kallang Riverside Park. So really, really convenient. Master plan wise, okay, this is kind of weird. Our plot is actually this cluster over here. So it seems that URA is deciding to transform this flexible white site and commercial blue site into a BTO. This is the first time I see URA's master plan not actually in line with what we're supposed to expect, I guess. For example, you should be seeing residential plots on BTO, but this time they decided to convert a commercial white site. White site I think it's fine, but commercial site, that's really kind of a first. So we'll have to see what kind of site is actually being developed here. As of now, this is kind of weird. But good thing if this site actually retains its 4.9 plot ratio, we'll be seeing, you know, really, really tall buildings, and it's going to be unblocked views in all directions from what I'm seeing. And you get also the south-facing ones on the high floor, probably good views of the Kallang Stadium. That's kind of cool. You get to see fireworks. Right in front, I'm guessing this is some kind of outdoor pedestrian mall. You have hotel zoning here, James Cook University, and some future schools here to possibly support the BTOs in the upcoming area. Kallang in general has very few BTOs, and combined with a good location as well as quite a bit of recreation in the area, I would say this BTO has a really good exit opportunity. Slim pickings for singles, so for single people, I'd say Kallang so far seems to be the best pick. Our second large district, let's check out Queenstown. 970 units with a mix of 3, 4 bedrooms, located more so in Commonwealth, and wow, this is really actually quite close to the One North Business Park on the left right here. What's this weird line here? Oh, it's the rail corridor. About 4 minutes to Commonwealth MRT, and down here you've got a really cool church. Queenstown Primary School and Secondary School and all that crazy stuff is right there as well. And you're really close, like 2 minutes to the local neighborhood center, which is where you get your food centers. So really quite convenient. Looking at the master plan, our plot is here with a plot ratio of about 4.2. Not as high as the HDBs over here at 4.9. I noticed that the plot ratios for this particular BTO is really, really high. 4.9, 4.2, 4.1. You know, it's really quite crazy. Just a little bit of a sidebar. So you probably don't really have great views facing that particular BTO of 4.9. Towards the north, however, there seems to be a little bit of light industry, like your offices and showrooms for cars, which is what this area is kind of known for. One north right over here, which is all these colored blue blocks, And like I mentioned, there's also going to be future residential up here as well. You don't really have a lot of shopping close by, with the closest one being the Buona Vista, Star Vista up there. So this BTO is quite cool. It's quite close to a lot of commercial activity, which means there will be high interest for people who want to live nearby to their workplace, which is pretty good. Also, furthermore, it's kind of close to the Commonwealth MRT, which makes me feel that the exit strategy here is pretty good. For our very last site, we have our little golden boy. It's Tengah. 1,010 units for 2, 3, 4 and 5 bedrooms. And we are over here at the southern point of Tengah. I'll jump straight into the master plan because Tengah is just a barren wasteland right now. Just a lot of construction. It's a lot more easy to see things on the master plan. Our site is over here, and like with all Tengah site, plot ratio is 2.8. So previously I said everything is 4.1, 4.2. Scratch that. Tengah is the one that breaks the mold. Not in a good way. I think the first thing that catches people's eyes is that you're just right beside the MRT right here, the Tengah Park MRT, which is also part of the Jurong Region line, which is set to open in 5 years' time, 2028. We've got like a super thin park over here, so I'm not sure what you're gonna do there. You know, maybe walk. That's probably it. You gotta walk or run. Quite a few schools nearby. You've got your Dulwich College, 2 unbuilt schools over here, and unfortunately, I think those people who might want to consider this BTO is not within the 1 km radius of ACS, which is somewhere up here. So in case that might be a reason for you to not pick this BTO or pick this BTO, that information is there for you. You're also 5 minutes to this other MRT line that's near a shopping mall, so really cool. And this plot over here is also going to be a neighborhood center, so even more food options here as well. This BTO has quite a bit of amenity, which is a good thing. Bad thing is that it's in Tengah, so there's going to be quite a bit of stock coming up, limiting your exit options. But one thing is that this HDB is really close to the MRT, and that can never be discounted when you're looking at Singapore's market. People do care about the MRT. Some context as well, Tengah does traditionally have a shorter construction time compared to the other BTOs. So if that's something that you really want to consider, this is a really good option as well. I would probably say the exit for this BTO overall is on the positive side. So, although just let me. BTO for August, I think it's not too bad overall. I just do see quite a bit of like outliers here and there, which kind of feels like this is the weirdest review I've done in quite a while. Kallang being that very weird master plan thingy. So I'm just going to be ranking all the BTOs now. Now note, I'm not considering PLH because as of right now, there's no confirmation onto which site does have PLH. Although it is quite obvious. Choa Chu Kang site, it's in a really mature neighborhood with a ton of malls and schools near the MRT. Also near quite a bit of recreation, your real corridor. No real negatives, no real positives as well. So I just give it about like 6, 7. I'll give it a 7.10. I think it's not too bad. First Whampoa site, facing a river, centralish neighborhood. That's a good thing. Not a lot of amenity, not really close to the MRT, no real schools nearby. So I think, and also you're near 2 highways. I think this one's going to be a bit rough. It's going to be 2.10. Second Whampoa site, unblocked views, really tall. 15 minutes from the MRT. You've got okay-ish amenity. You've got Balestier nearby. No real schools or anything. But besides that, I give it a 6.10. You're also kind of near canal, so that's good. For the Kallang side, really central. You've got really great transport options nearby. Not only the MRT, also the bus interchange. Close to awesome recreation, like your Riverside Park and whatnot. And also we got great amenities from Kallang. Overall, great exit as well. Just a little bit wacky on the master plan side. That's not really going to matter once you move into the place. So I won't really consider that as part of the assessment. 8.10. Queenstown site, really close to the MRT as well as close to industry, which is a really good thing when you're considering an exit option. You're in a mature neighborhood with schools, MRT, as well as the rail corridor. A lot of these sites have rail corridors, so I think pretty high. This is probably my favorite site as well. I give it also an 8.10. Tengah site, beside an upcoming train station, that's a huge plus. You've got a bit of schools and a shopping mall nearby. Also a tiny little park. Not too great, but nothing really special, and because of the huge stock in Tengah, it's going to pull down the grade naturally, so I'm just going to give it a 5.10. It's mid. So there you go. So why I think the Kallang site is a little bit better than Queenstown, even though I gave both of them an 8.10, is really from an investment point of view. I see a lot of regeneration happening in the Kallang area compared to Queenstown. The area is kind of fully realized already. So in terms of the capital upside, Kallang seems to be a lot better. It's also a lot more central. But if you're looking at it purely from a homestay point of view, I say both are equally good. So don't let my decision or my opinion factor in if that's the case. Really one of the weirdest reviews I've done, and I really hope you enjoy my review of the August BTO for 2023. If you like this kind of reviews, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. I'm totally okay with that. You know, it helps me improve as a person. If you have any sort of questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I will try my best to get to them. If you have a bit more of a personal question, you can DM me right over here. That's my Instagram. You can ask me any questions relating to real estate, relating to real estate investment, as well as if you want to find out which stack would be preferable for you. You can send it to me. I can help you take a look at it as well. I hope you have a really great day. Until next time.